And we are getting ready to go into our fourth game of the day. This is Bulldog taking on London. It's honestly, it's been very complicated all day, and it's boiled down to something incredibly simple. The winner of this game makes playoffs, the loser doesn't. That's it. There is no over complicated explanations to go through anymore. It is winner stays, loser goes. That's it.
All or nothing. That's all this has boiled down to for both of these teams. All of their splits work is about to come down to 30-ish minutes, 35, 40 minutes of League of Legends. That's all it's going to be.
Well, we are through. We are into picks and bans for the final game of the regular season. The Zig's going to be denied away from the side of London to start this off, and Xin Zhao coming through. Probably just going to be the standard bans here. Let's be real.
Yeah, agency bans away from London I think are always going to be good. Even an early LeBlanc ban, I wouldn't be too surprised to see Bulldog pull that one out. Stuff like that. Yeah. Lucian as well. Anything that gives Beely agency in the mid lane, or stripping away no names opportunities as well. To find any kind of early skirmishes.
I think if you unlock Beely on the side of London, you're in a very good spot, because when he's taken over games, he has taken over games. That is kind of been his key strength for this roster. And we're now going to see the Seraphine, the Aurelia banned away. Obviously, Aurelia has had her soft rework or adjustments, let's say, on this patch. So it's pretty strong at the moment. We've seen her in a mix of lanes, and because of the fact that her W now gives her that magic reduction, it's good in mid. It's good versus some of these mages in mid lane. Anyway, we'll see what they're going to ban away as the final ban. The Viego's there. The Gwen is open.
Yeah, the Gwen is.
And I feel like that has to be Bulldog's ban here.
Yeah, it has to be Bulldog's ban. I think it's maybe. Oh, they're going to give it to the Diana. But why would you do that if you're happy? You could just give over the Gwen and then go Diana set yourself.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. That was exactly what I was thinking.
Such a strange decision, but they are going to have the Thresh available if Will the Scout wants it. But we have seen him lean on other picks as well. Bulldog also have the Volibear, which they've loved for a very long time too.
Yeah.
Particularly onto Lulus. So choice is theirs. What are they going to rotate here? Diana ban does strike me as a bit strange. Thresh will be the choice for Will the Scout here, and it sets up, of course, for something like a Felios, Varus, Jinx on that R3 for Jacob. For Lulus, what are we going to see come out? What is it going to be? I really want to see something early aggressive from the Bulldog jungler here. I think you try and take it to no name, but they want to take away the Lucian, which honestly I can't fault them for. Thomas Go, very good at it. Beely, it's a pick which has been consistently banned away from him on multiple occasions, pretty much since Spring Split, just because of that one performance. It's been one of his consistently strong champions. If you have him on it, he is going to be a bit of a menace. And Tristana, another one of those AD carries he's very proficient at. And of course, a flexible pick can go down to Mankey if needs be. They're also going to lock in the Nautilus at the same time. I wonder if Bulldog, they just say, all right, we're going to lock in our AD carry just because we've got the Thresh, or do we feel like we need an AP source up from the top side, jungle or top lane role? It's kind of their options right now. I'm expecting a hyper carry for Jacob though. That's my guesstimation here. It's got to be the Aphelios Jinx, something that can guarantee some late game. But yeah, we said they need a little bit of AP. They're going to get the Lilia in their pocket. We've seen it a couple of times here and there in Europe in particular. I'm not sure where I land, actually, on the Lilia. I think we did see No Name run it yesterday. I'm not so convinced on its strength just yet. I think the rework has definitely tilted the dynamics of this champion. We'll have to wait and see, but we are into ban phase 2, and immediately Lee Sin is going to be taken away from this London Esports side.
Coming up next, we'll see what London are going to look to ban away. Now, I feel like because they've got their hands onto that Lucian, the ability for London to pick up a LeBlanc is just completely evaporated. I mean, it's not like it's completely gone, but it's just Lucian has such a good matchup into LeBlanc in mid that, you know, that kind of big scary pick that Beely whipped out kind of halfway through the season is just alleviated by this, and it's also a massive denial from Beely. So probably expecting to see the bans kind of not really focus too much towards the mid laners. They're just banning away junglers / kind of laners, but the Lee Sin and the Groves getting taken away from No Name. Now the final ban here from London probably again just could be another AD carry, but remember this Tristana is flexible. It can go in the mid lane. We could also just give it over to Mankey as well.
Yeah, I think Jinx, Varus, both very strong candidates here. Instead, they just say, we're only really worried, as my mic decides to randomly stop about the Ornn.
Excited.
About the Ornn. trying to take away one of Coates' strong champions in terms of giving him engage. Of course, he could default onto other tanks like Sion, Malphite as well. We've seen him play the Sejuani top, I believe, too. Could be a very good option for him. But not a lot of melee champions, just the Lily, I think, at the moment. But they will pick up this Varus now. They're going to try and give Coat the counter pick here into Akka's. They don't want to try and, blind pick a tank and then all of a sudden Akka's whips out something like Gangplank or just an anti-tank champion. Can be very, very irritating. But over to London now. They know what the AD carry matchup is. I'm expecting Tristana in the mid lane. Jinx would be a little bit rough into Varus. There is no Ziggs. What are you going to lock in here? You could go down like a super aggressive route. We could also just see Karma in the bot lane too. Karma mid, Tristana, but either one I think London will be okay with, to be totally honest with you. So still a lot of flexibility. It's just about where this Gwen's going to end up.
All right, well, it looks like moving around a little bit, they're going to lock in the Gnar, and to me that means we're going to be seeing a Gwen in the jungle, Karma in the top lane, and it's going to be Tristana in the AD carry role, and the Sion is the answer out here for Coates plus main, the Tanker Romania, is that what they call him?
Tanker Romania.
Tanker Romania, back on a tank doing some duty. Talk to me about these comps, because I need to make some heads or tails of it.
I think it is going to be Karma bot. I think that Trist doesn't really want to have to deal too much with the Varus Thresh. I think it's too painful a lane. I think if you've got the Karma and the Nautilus, there's a lot of burst damage in the short trades. You don't really have to go crazy aggressive, but you can certainly gain lane priority and have a lot of kill threat down there. I think putting the Tristana into the Lucian, it's more of a neutralizing lane. You can match some of the Lucian's trades, but Lucian's trade patterns are a little bit shorter than Tristana's, and that's kind of occasionally an issue. But again, it's about the iron spikes between Tristana and Lucian. So I think Lucian priority for the first couple of waves. Eventually it will start to shift over as Tristana gains more agency, just in general, gaining more range, the ability to ult him out of his own ult, things of that nature. But I think the skirmishing, very, very powerful for Bulldog. I think they've got a lot of strong level 6 tools. Chains of Corruption, Silent Ultimate, Sleep, pretty much down the line. If you try and skirmish these guys at level 6, it's going to be very painful to deal with. But to be quite honest with you, London, they've got a lot of strong tools themselves. So we'll have to kind of see. I think with this Karma in the bottom lane, it's going to turn into a bit of a death wall comp eventually with their frontliners and Gwen kind of in there trying to assassinate any backline that they can find.
Well, it looks like we are loading through into the game. It's an important one. I'm tired of saying it. I'm probably sure you're tired of hearing it, but it is an important game.
But it is an important one. That's the thing. You can't, I know me and Jake might seem a little bit tired right now. Some of that heat, some of it fourth game of the day. In Jake's case, it's actually his end of the day. I've been up for 5 hours or something, 6 maybe.
Yeah, I know. This is lunchtime for you, mate.
This is like lunchtime for me. But the stakes, we can't reiterate them really enough. It is quite literally do or die, all or nothing. You make playoffs. Or
stay or go. Stay or go. That are your options here. You have to pop the Nexus or you're gone. It's a longer break.
It's been about, obviously we're week 7. Most teams solidify their rosters around 3 weeks before roster lock. Sometimes a little bit closer towards that, because honestly, roster building is stressful. Take it from me, I promise. So a lot of this is going to be boiled down into 8 to 10 weeks of hard work into 30 minutes of League of Legends.
And here's the thing, right? The league ends next Monday. That is it. There's relegations to play. That's at the end of August, but the main league ends next week.
30 seconds.
You don't want to go now.
No.
You want to play that final week, especially when, remember, this is the end of the summer season. We have a very long off season now after this. We don't start till mid-January, early February. That is the next time some of these players will play competitively in a setting like this.
Yeah.
So, you don't want a long off season. You want to get as little time as possible, and a week can make a little bit of a difference, and it can really do a lot for your mentality going into 2022. It is so bizarre that we're talking about 2022 is that's where the next split is.
I mean, a lot of the other regions, they do have Winter Cups, things like that.
NLC,
we technically had a Winter Cup last split.
Yeah, I'm hoping we have another one, but that's NLC, that's not UKLC.
Yeah. But even then, we did see some, UKLC level-ish players enter into that and almost make it through the gauntlet. So it's not like it's impossible, of course. However, the top Telia teams do tend to populate those final open qualification spots when it comes to at least last year's NLC4. Of course, we'll have to wait and see whether we will be holding that one, as we're here. Game has gotten underway. Junglers starting on opposite sides to one another, so they will end most likely on opposite sides of one another unless we see some kind of invade path. Play. Hook.
Nice little hook, but it's not a Tristana lane. It's not going to be quite that kill lane, but like you said, it's here to neutralize the Varus lane, not so you're just getting heavily shoved in. And mid lane's going to be interesting to me. Lucian versus the Tristana. Both of these champions typically like to play in lane as the aggressive one, as the one who finds priority. Now, Tristana passively can just earn that priority because she kills minions, other minions take damage. So she has that to work with, and that's going to make Tomasko's life a little bit hairier. But I do expect to see some action and some contest in this lane, so it could be quite explosive and it can be quite snowbally as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Lucian always has been known as a very volatile champion anyway. So when you're talking about AD carry to AD carry, especially Tristana, not necessarily volatile, but can be so snowbally. Trist gets ahead, Lucian loses a lot of value. If Lucian gets ahead, Tristana, it's going to struggle for a while because behind Tristana isn't necessarily a very scary one.
Yeah.
Naturally how a lot of scaling champions work. Junglers, both give or take, going to be waiting for the Skull Crab. You can see No Name actually got through his clear pretty quickly, but he didn't do the Krugs, so he's actually waiting around here for now, whereas Lulas did actually finish up all of his camps, so it's going to be one camp up for now, and could, even with the bottom side priority, find No Name's Krugs, which could be a pretty nice prize to take away here.
Unlucky Jeppe, unlucky Will for the missing hooks. Pulling that minion closer to Mankey, that's what he was doing.
Yep.
So, talk to me a little bit about the kind of mid-jungle dynamic, because this is one of the things where, mid laners exist to help their junglers. That's how this game's played.
I mean, I will say, because I know you're kind of like joking, but
I'm kind of joking, but also semi-true, right?
I think a lot of people, and I'm not saying this from the perspective of a jungler, because, people assume bias, right? Whenever people talk about their own roles, they're like, oh, my role's weak. Jungle is not a weak role at all. It is not a weak role.
I'm glad you finally acknowledge it.
No. But what people tend to forget is you have to play around whoever has agency. And in a lot of cases, it is the jungler. So naturally, if you're a laner, whoop-de-doo, you have to play around your jungler in the early game in a lot of scenarios. But sometimes laners get a little bit upset about that because they feel like it's robbed them of their own agency, but that's just kind of how it works. So when it comes to this mid 2v2, I'm going to have to
Mankey's ignited. Mankey is going low. The chains are going to come in. He gets himself the inner flame and powered up by the mantra. And Will the Scout's going low, but the minions are going to do a lot of work as Jeppe slows down, flayed, flashes, and escapes. That was a scrappy fight in the bot lane.
It was very scrappy, and I've got to say, if London were on the same page there, I actually think they could have won that 2v2 if they focused down Will the Scout initially. It was very, very squishy. Remember, this is not a Aftershock Thresh. This is a Guardian Thresh. He is there to lantern his AD carry out to safety. He's not trying to find many engages often. But back to the 2v2. Lucian Lilia was actually a very, very strong combination, particularly at MSI. And I think just a little bit before that as well. 2v2ing Lilia Lucian was near impossible. It's just very hard. The mixed damage, the mobility, locking these guys down, typically in other 2v2 duos as well. Especially in the meta we just had, it was mostly damage, right? There wasn't a lot of hard DC. I think it is very hard for me at the moment to gauge this 2v2 because Lilia is technically like a new champion right now.
Yeah. But for me, it's like the way I look at it. Go on.
If it was like Lilia of old, I would probably still edge it to Bulldog. But I think this new Lilia, the Q spam isn't quite there anymore. You have to wait a couple of seconds more between each cast. And that is your main damage source, right? You do heal up a little more, yes. But not being able to get those Qs off every 4 seconds, right? That's a big deal for skirmishing now. Bulldog and London have committed multiple members here. And they're kind of in a bit of a standoff. BD's like, hey, come over here. There's no one in this bush. Tomasko trying to do the same thing.
It comes out, but a great lantern from Will. Provide him the safety he needs. And Tomasko now With another piercing light, going to chunk Beely very, very low. And this means Jepe's going to have to hang around and help him deal with the wave. Has obviously got that charge to be able to pop the wave as Jepe misses once again another hook. And this could be Will the Scout's moment as he flashes, he hooks, he finds the opportunity. Beely not going to be able to do anything as it's time for a sleep. It's time for the grey screen. First blood to Thomas Go.
Yeah, real nice hook there from Will the Scout. Is going to seal Jepe's fate. He said loads of people hanging around the mid lane. Beely and Thomas Go both trying to coerce the opposite party into the bush. Took a little while. Akka's not going to get hit by that decimating smash. Curiously, Coat has actually gone on this though. Not a key. You almost forget the keystone exists sometimes these days.
It is a yeah. Do you know? I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think that is the one keystone I've never used.
Really?
I don't think I've ever used Omnistone.
It's a pretty good keystone for some champions.
Oh, hello, Coates. Oh, Coates has to flash.
Yeah.
And oh.
Okay. And now with the ultimate flash down, actually, it's a big deal because London are sending members towards the top side.
Yeah, Jepe's coming in. If he finds that hook, he's going to be one dead zombie man.
He may have to
him out
give
with
up
the ward.
Yeah.
And he's going to lose a lot of farm here. Hex flash over the wall. Oh, no, into the bush.
Oh, all right. Little off on the angle. That's all right because red buff is the target.
Lewis, going for a quick skip out. Bowling ball hits. Really not touched though. Lilting Lullaby still on cooldown as Thomas Go also on the flank. It's a fight for the red buff and multiple people have been called up. It's just the carries who haven't come, but Mankey has teleport. And with that advantage, wow. Bulldog recognize it's not worth it for a red buff. They just step away. They concede the buff.
I think a bit of a slight there from Bulldog though, because interestingly enough, Lulus had his smite upgraded and available. No Name didn't. That's a 450 damage difference in smites.
Yeah, true. I think it was the numbers advantage. I don't think it was about getting the buff. I think it was...
I know, but they definitely could have held their ground there.
Yeah.
Definitely could have held their ground. It's not a big deal. It is just a red buff. But conceding the red buff does mean that they are now going to inevitably also yield this Rift Herald. I think they would have probably had to have given it up anyway because of how the top lane play just went a moment ago.
Oh, Jepe.
Jepe.
Oh, Jepe. They're coming in. No, they're not. Don't worry. He's fine.
Right, well, no one pulled the trigger. Cool. Lulus has the blue buff. Could start off the dragon here. They just got the notification that the Herald.
Oh, the Hex Flash.
Ooh, that was...
Over they go.
Real flash.
Oh, no, that could be bad. Beely, he's looking to go to sleep. He hasn't got the jump either, so Thomas can just find himself a beautiful ultimate off. He's not level 6. He's going down. But it's a Tristana in the mid lane, and if this dragon gets started, No Name can slap down the Rift Herald, and with the charge, the explosive charge, Beely should be able to take the tower. So they have to play around. They have to be a little careful. Dragon is going to get started, and Thomas going to defend the lane.
Not bad at all for Bulldog. Picking up another kill on Tepe, actually. Both of London's deaths so far have been their support player. Bulldog picked themselves up their first dragon, and dragons today, it feels like, have been driving factors as to why teams have made certain decisions.
Yeah.
And has certainly swayed a couple of results so far, so keep our eyes on the dragon counter.
Well, the resets have come in. Beely has picked himself up his Noon Quiver and his pickaxe, heading towards that mid lane, and you can see that No Name's kind of lingering as close to mid as possible. I think he's waiting for a prime opportunity to come in with this Herald and try and pick some plates up onto this Tristana, because like I said, this lane can be fairly snowbally, and if you can get the gold injected onto that Tristana, she can really take it over the lane. So Jepe waiting to see if he can find maybe a little something onto Jacob, although he hasn't got level 6 yet. He's going to find the hook, though. They've got the tether. The flash comes down. Jacob's going to be able to escape from that one as Jepe now hits 6.
Yeah. Jepe had 6 there. That's a dead 80 carry.
Absolutely.
But he didn't have 6. So Jacob survives. No Name also, because of that, won't be able to drop the Herald in the bottom side. Felt like it would be better to recall. Got about 2 minutes left on it now, so see where he's going. What are we highlighting, Observer?
Now, Thomas has 2 kills, though. He's actually finished up his Gale Force. First mythic of the game's been finished up. Trelez has been picked up for Mankey. See, a bit of a cheaper item, especially when you're farming, but Gale Force versus components for Billy. He hasn't even got all the components of either his Gale Force or Kraken Slayer. Meaning he has to play a little bit careful, and he's really trying to bait. Lots of people are making their way into this mid lane. No Name will reveal himself as Swirl Seed hits the pair of them, and that might just be the Lilting Lullaby. They got the charge to get away, but they're just going to flash in. No Name flashes out to safety as well. They are just falling victim to these Swirl Seeds time and time again.
They are, but how irritating is that Gwen ability, man? It forced Will the Scout. Forced Will the Scout to have to flash in to the path to actually throw the hook out. And it gives No Name enough time to be able to flash away from it. Great Swirl Seed, yeah, again though, from Lulas. A lot of value. However, London will drop this Herald here. We'll get a lot of plate goal into the pocket of Ophelia and No Name, yes.
No, don't worry.
No, come on, Jake.
My thought process was maybe if Jeppe hadn't stood so close, they wouldn't have got enough resistances to take. They would have been able to take an extra plate, and then I realized, no, that's not how Rift Herald works. That's not how Rift Herald works, so it doesn't matter. That's why I cancelled myself, but thank you for making me look stupid in front of the class.
It's okay, Jake. It's what I'm here for.
When's Orcs coming back? God damn it. I said, when's Orcs coming back?
I know, man. I miss Orcs. He's out gallivanting in the LPL or something.
Yeah, I know. Somehow I got stuck with you.
What a terrible trade deal, actually.
Hey, man. We've had a brilliant year together. What are you talking about? It has been a absolutely spectacular year for me and you.
Yes, it has. Thank you. It definitely has. Let's see if it continues. Our luck is on the up and up, and hard work.
Let's stop talking about ourselves and start talking about the team. So, shall we?
Yeah.
Mythic's coming in. We've got the Shirelles, we've got the Kraken Slayer, we've got the Thunderer, and look at the top lane. Coates has gone for chains. That means Akers doesn't get to play League of Legends.
Yeah, exactly. Look, Jake, at the end of the day, though, right? I know this is a very high-stakes game, but much like last game when we highlighted it, you get two kinds of games in the high-stakes ones. You get the very fast-paced, both these teams are playing balls to the wall because they understand it's their last chance, and they don't want to go out on a whimper. So that's how they play it. Then you get these very slow, low-risk, low-reward type games.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we're seeing here, for the most part. And you can kind of understand, I think, from the context of both these teams, right? Bulldog, an organization that... an organization that really... I think this is the first time in, like, the last 4 splits that they've just avoided relegation.
Yes, it's very big for Bulldog.
It's been a very long time since Bulldog haven't been in relegation.
They've got a good roster. They've had a great split, but again, it's the UKLC, and it always comes down to these fine little numbers.
Yeah.
Power's not going to get taken as they are able to pull people in. That, honestly, Nautilus Hook is so bugs, man. The charge is coming in as Sion's looking to join in. Here comes Coates. Get your coat, Coates. You missed it.
Did you,
Yep.
Did you see my tweet about Nautilus Hook, actually?
Yes, no, I did see the one on the LEC. It's always been the most ridiculous ability in the game.
I think it's the fact that a lot of the time, more so than like Blitz Hook or Thresh Hook, you can visibly see it readjust. And it's just like,
I mean, I've seen some fresh hooks. I've seen some fresh hooks in my time. I've been watching League of Legends for a long time, and I would say he also has some pretty rotten hooks. Billy, check that bush. No? Okay, cool.
No. I don't want to. I want to give Thomas Gore coat if he had teleport a flank, alright?
Ranky? No, okay.
No.
I think their nurse is going on. Let's be real. They're not doing it.
Yeah, they do. They don't want to contest. Just priority difference here. Control of the area. Bulldog as well. They're actually not at the IM spikes that London are. Mankey, his IM's cheaper. Jacob had to obviously deviate towards the tier in the boots first. And Lulas also just based now for his first completed IM, whereas No Name had the Riftmaker. So they just weren't willing to commit, and also teleport disadvantage. Akers had his teleport, Coat did not. So not willing to fight. Smart to yield that. So we could see them contest this, but again, you know, it's London. Oh my goodness. London with a lot of the control in this area. Again, if we toggle the vision, completely dark for Bulldog. Yeah. Not working with anything. So Herald will go over. London with that in their pocket. Let's see what they do with it. Mid-tier 1 is down already. Side lane towers, don't forget, particularly those tier 2s. I'm gonna rattle on about it until I see a shift in the meta. That's why I'm gonna be like back in my day, but now, like kind of thing.
Was that your old person voice?
Well, that was like my mock kind of. I don't know what.
Yeah. Okay.
Voice would. I feel like I'd just get more raspy. Like kind of.
I'm curious what you're gonna be like when you're old.
I think I already know.
I know I'm probably gonna be a grumpy old man.
Yeah. See.
Stupid kids. Yeah. Tamagotchis. What's that?
Tamagotchi. Okay, man.
Back in my day, we had dogs, not Tamagotchis.
Isn't Tamagotchis technically like your?
The Tamagotchis are from. I had a Tamagotchi.
Yeah. You know what's kind of wild?
Soon, actually.
Do you know what's wild? Is a fair amount of the players in this game, just based on age alone, probably
would not know what a Tamagotchi is. Oh.
Yeah. Now, granted,
that actually hurts.
Okay, now like Tamagotchis are kind of just barely within my. I think like just a little bit. I'm not gonna say like I'm too young, but like I could have owned one, kind of.
Did you not own a Tamagotchi?
No, I don't think I did.
All right, bro. Right. So you didn't own a Tamagotchi. You never watched Avatar: The Last Airbender. Why? Yeah. Why am I friends with you?
Bro, okay. All right, look, I'm not gonna get.
Watch it.
All right, man. Look, I'm working.
We have a long off season coming up. Watch it,
dude.
Yeah, Jacob got thrown under.
Do we? I mean, like, do we? Like,
I don't know. It could be a really long off season because we might not ever get employed again after these rants. But
yeah, that's the life of a freelancer. You just never know. Jacob.
That's the life of an AD carry.
Yeah.
You get hooked, you get killed, and Jeppe will secure it. Oh,
okay. Pause. Hey guys, welcome back to the caster desk with your boy, Jamada.
Boy, we're a single entity, are we?
Yes.
Cool.
We are not. You cannot separate. Jamada
I had a transparent orange Tamagotchi. That was my one. Yeah, it's great. I loved it. I love that little fella. I can't believe you never had one. The thing is like. You actually look back on them, and they were just garbage. Like it was a little egg with like 3 buttons. I think it was 3 buttons, and then that was it. And yeah,
I'm about to unlock a memory, guys. Look, I want to take this game seriously. I promise, and we will. Right now,
when the game gets action,
they don't want to throw fisticuffs. Okay,
yeah.
They're not. They're just not fighting right now. Very meticulous again. They don't like stakes high. In out. That's it. Win in, lose out. You can understand why they are so slow. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm about to unlock a memory for a fair amount of our viewers though. Do you remember the DS, right?
Yeah, of course.
Can you remember like the picture rooms that you could join with your friends and you would just draw?
Yeah.
And a lot of the time what you would actually do is you would color the entire touchscreen in usually black, but just one color. And then you would rub it out in white, and that's how you would draw a picture instead.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I one of my earliest LAN events was us playing Super Monkey Ball with like 16 people on
did you have
the DS? It was like that PvP Super Monkey Ball. We'd shoot bananas at each other. That was great fun.
Did you have the kid like during like toy days at primary school? I don't think they do toy days at secondary school.
No, I didn't do either actually.
But at primary school, where everyone would like bring in their DS and they'll play Mario Kart off of Bluetooth.
Okay, I'm gonna make you feel really young here. DSs didn't come out until I was in secondary school. Yeah, mate. Back in primary school, it was the Game Boy Advance and Game Boy Color. They were the ones I was using. Game Boy Advance. Yeah. I think Game Boy Advance came out in it would have been year 3, I think, maybe. I don't know. I just remember because Pokemon Sapphire was 2003, and that's when I got one. And I think that was year 3 for me.
Okay, you know what, chat? What was your first console?
Yeah, what was your first console?
Tweet at us, type it in chat. Either one.
What was mine? Mine was a PlayStation 1. PlayStation 1 was my first console. My dad got it. I had F1, 1999 or 1998, I think. And I had a game called Soviet Strike. I genuinely don't know what that game was about. I think I can guess from the name now, but back in the day, I had no idea. I was just a kid. I flew a helicopter around, and then I had like a Doom buggy racing game on like Mars, and then there was also like a police boat game, but that was one we got from Blockbuster, so I never actually owned that game. That's gonna make you feel old. Renting games from Blockbuster.
No, I was all about that. I did that.
Yeah,
I remember that. That was I used to go spend my weekends with my dad when I was a kid.
Yeah,
and we would almost always almost every weekend go to the Blockbusters. We'd go in there. I would get this bag of Milky Buns, and then I would also pick out a rented game because that would be his treat to me for the weekend. If we weren't going anywhere and doing anything. Yeah, Milky Buns, bro.
What was your first console?
I was about to say, as an update, we should be getting into game pretty soon. As you can see, we are here. London found that pick, as a reminder, onto Jacob, so they're going to drop this Herald in the mid lane. That should be the tower down. And to answer your question, the first console that was mine, because I did play on things like my brother's PlayStation 1, my cousin's GameCube, but the first console that was like strictly mine, I had an original Xbox console.
Oh, I loved that thing, yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, Akers about to get the backup of his team as he gets the slam down onto Coates. Coates is slowed by the boomerang, and here comes Beely. They're just taking the tower out. Coates, you'll be next up. Into the hook, into the kill. That's another one under the pocket of No Name, or a first one under the pocket of No Name. Bulldog are firing out on the opposite side of the map. They're going to take this mid lane tower in response to all of the action.
Yeah, so punches back and forth there. Coates does drop. London picking up 2 kills plus that top tier 1, but Bulldog, they do find a response of their own in their mid tier 1 of London. So middle of the map, definitely very wide open. We'll have to see. Raptors beat Thomas Go. Well, I guess technically Raptors beat Godonica. That's kind of how. Sorry, I just thought God dying to the jungle camp again. Very random thought, but yeah. Thomas Go, Raptors not for him apparently. Dragons winning in 45 seconds, and London right now have control of the mid lane. So I will expect them to be in front of this objective first. But Bulldog might not mind that because they've got Sion for some of this long-range engage. London, however, they're looking for a potential angle engage.
The hook, the lantern, the interrupt! Jacob, he's cooked! He's going down, but actually they're able to chase in. Here comes the kill as Akers is able to find it. What a hook from Jeppe!
I can't... Jeppe sometimes so damn good. Sometimes dies twice early on. I hear in my ear. We're going to have a replay of it straight away. Take a look at this.
Okay, so normally they're broken. That one wasn't broken. That was just that a good hook.
Yeah, that was a good hook. They commit forward. They make sure that they find their mark. And they are going to be able to actually find that. It should be the Dragon as well. However, Bulldog, they're not necessarily feeling to give this one up entirely without a fight. Instead, pick onto Akers potentially.
Slowed down by the shoulders as well. He is there. Thomas, go. He shapes his back and secures the kill. 3-0 right now.
Yeah, doesn't like Raptors. Does like York. Tomsko very, very strong right now. And I recall questioning why Lucians are building Shirelda's second. That's a pretty good clip as to why, because it slows them down so much. Can't kite out, culling. Now with that pick, they're looking at Baron. London,
yeah, they are looking
down.
for it. It's already low. They find themselves a hook. The fight is going to break out. Beely waiting for his opportunity. The depth charge not been fired quite yet because it's still on cooldown. And that's just going to be enough to scare Bulldog off. Baron does a lot of damage and pokes them a hit low. And London, pretty happy with that one. They got the Dragon. Sure, they lost their top laner, but no Baron under threat as Jeppe maybe looking for a little someone with a hook. But I think when there's a Shirelda's available, you could be in trouble. The rest of the team are collapsing in. That red buff might just be the problem for Jeppe as he throws out the depth charge. Jacob chains are on, but the CC chain won't be enough. Beely finds himself the kill.
Beely picks up the kill. Jacob keeps on finding himself out of position. Back to back now. 3 times, actually. First pick into the second and now the third. This one might not cost Bulldog anything in particular, but still time handed over to London. And again, as a reminder, Bulldog, they've not been in playoffs for a very long time. As long as I've been in the UK scene, which is about 2.5 years now. Not been in playoffs once. London, okay, let's hold this. Hepe, yeah, okay.
He don't want to flash. He's fine. Oh, Coates is chasing, but able to find the knock up onto Jeppe. The aftershock is now worn off, and Coates is just continuing to fire damage, but he can't kill the Nautilus.
Yeah, just trying to be a bit of a nuisance. But yeah, London, since they've been inside of the UKLC, expectations around the rosters fielded relatively high. You know, the first roster that they fielded in here, it was supposed to be a super roster. Make it all the way into the NLC through Telia. Of course, it didn't end up playing out that way. Second split made it to finals. Almost beat Resolve, the team that everybody thought was supposed to be uncontested. And this split not quite had the same story as the last, but it'd certainly be a shame to see them drop out as, unfortunately, guys.
We're back.
We're back.
Just as it started to get heated, we're back.
Yeah.
And this time, I haven't got any Tamagotchis to talk about.
Oh, you don't? That's a shit. All right. So you said your first console...
PlayStation 1.
What did you play on it? What was?
I had Soviet Strike. I had an F1. Like it was like 1999 or 1998. It might be 90. That would have been 97.
Okay.
Maybe it was. I can't remember. I had an F1 game. They were all basically racing games. Because my dad was like, he didn't really know much about video games, but he's like, I'll get Jake a console. It was really nice of him, and he bought me loads of racing games because I like cars. I've always liked cars, even when I was a kid, and he likes cars as well. He got the steering wheel and everything, and I never used it. And looking back on it, I was like, damn, I was an idiot for not using that. But I got one. I got one when I got my 360. I got the the one that gave you resist on the steering wheel, so it fight you. That was great fun.
Yeah, no, I my cousin used to play. I think it was F1 2017, 16, something like that.
Wow.
And
there's an esports scene.
Yeah.
There's an F1 esports scene.
Yes, there is, because I found out they used to do weekly leagues. They would follow the actual, like, real life F1, but everybody would be in their own teams, in their own, like, it was a 20-person league where week by week they would actually just race, like, on the F1 games like it was a simulator, which I found really cool. But yeah, no, my first console game off of the original Xbox, surprise, surprise, Halo CE. Like, if it wasn't Halo CE and you had an Xbox, like 2003, then I don't know what to say to you. But also,
here's one for you then.
Okay.
What was your favorite console?
Oh, from my childhood?
Well, just in general. You know, if you think of PlayStation 4, your favorite
era,
console?
Goodness, it's got to be the 360. It's got to be the Xbox 360. There were just too many games in that era, and there were too many people that owned, at least in my friend groups, a 360 compared to a PlayStation 3.
It's weird. I have a lot of good memories from the 360, especially Gears of War. I mean, Gears of War was how I got Hit Brain as a name. Not from the game. I just really wanted to play Gears of War with my friends, and I accidentally got this name. Might have to hold that because it looks like these teams are posturing for a bit of a team fight. Here comes the charge, and it's going to go a little bit wide by Coates, and I think that might be all she wrote on that little engage. As Gwen's able to block out on the swirl seed, and tower in the bot lane will crumble here to the side of London.
Will be something picked up, though. Are the minions going to kill it before Akaz gets there? Looks like the answer is no. Okay, that tower is very healthy. It's just on the mini-map. You never know. But will secure that one for himself. And slowly, London accruing a gold lead, but we're kind of approaching the point in the game where this kind of gold lead relatively negligible. It's about the items. You know, if this was like a 4, 5, 6,000 gold lead, then it's a thing. But 2,000, you know, you take a look across the board, there's no like crazy major like item discrepancies. You know,
you got the QSS. That's pretty big from Beely.
Yeah, nice from Beely, but at the same time, the 2 damage items are matched by Thomas Go.
Yeah.
No Name, I think that's the only real position between him and Ludus where I can call it a discrepancy. But even then, Ludus has the anti-heal and then the stopwatch. So it's like he's kind of working with half the Morello. He doesn't have the HP, but he's got the main important part of the Zhonya's. So in this next team fight, which I'm assuming is going to break out in about a minute's time for this dragon, these guys should be relatively even, all things considered. As Light Hub comes up, you know what that means. Action. It's on its way. Bulldog been pretty willing to pull the trigger, especially with Coates. And it looks like Jacob again, he's going to potentially be caught out.
Yeah, the chains are thrown down as they look to sprint, but Coates is coming in with that charge. Not going to find it onto anybody at all. And now he's rooted down. Akka's about to gnaw out and gets the 3-man. That's what they need. The needlework is going to put in the work as well. And it is a whitewash for London. Will the scout is going to be going down and Beely able to reset and jump through. The hooks coming in. Jeppe is just 1 versus 3. A double kill onto the Nautilus. And only Thomas stands. As he sped up, Beely continues to chase, flashes in for Thomas, and Thomas flashes the wall to get away. Flash for flash trade. Thomas going to be zoned away from his base. London, they might just have done it. They might just have forced Bulldog out of this tournament. We'll see if they can do it. The death timers are a little short, though.
Yeah, and they sent Hepe all the way back to try and stop the base. Not going to quite have enough time to do that. It will be the Dragon, but that is very, very... Bulldog aren't in a great position now. Sorry, I just lost my train of thought for some reason. It's not been a good day for me.
It's been a great day. What are you on about?
Yeah. But Bulldog, with that inhibitor going down, that's pressure in the mid lane, that's just gone. They're not going to have that. They're going to have to always respond to this super wave. London, they found a fight, and I mean, we immediately both thought, is that going to be the game? 27 minutes in, fortunately, the death timers, they're short enough.
Yeah.
But Jacob, again, very suspect positioning. Almost, in fact, no, I will say, kind of put Bulldog in general in a very compromising position. Coat did overcommit, but still not good enough.
Damage, chains and everything. They throw it all out, and Jeppe should not be able to get hit by the Q. That was chains burn. On a relatively short cooldown, however, has got the Dust Blade, so extra ability haste.
But Bulldog just haven't been able to find a key engage that they've been happy with. Don't get me wrong, their engage tools aren't great, and I mean, London's outside of Hepe aren't really either. But it has been London. Handed the opportunities towards Hepe to start these fights off positively for them. And that is kind of, to me, the major difference maker in this game. I think he tried to make both walls, but he couldn't. Don't worry, Observer, I caught it as well. As, oh yeah, flank from Sion almost. Not cancelled. I don't know if he's been spotted out. I don't know if they know he's been used.
He hasn't. He cancels his recall. Okay, he's gone back to base.
He's gone back to base. So yeah, London in a very, very positive position right now. They don't necessarily even have to play out through the top side. They've been playing through the mid lane only. And it looks like all of this pressure is going to culminate in the Baron startup. And I mean, Bulldog, they're whiles away from this still. I think this is gone.
They're coming in for the charge, but Jefe's going to block it out. And London actually decides to cancel for now. The Swell Seed goes wide. The depth charge is onto Jacob. The knock off onto Coates. They're just going front to back. Coates is down. Akkas can't quite get in, but there's the needlework. Look at that damage. It's disgusting. Akkas gets the slam back, and the snip secures the double kill for No Name on the Gwen. And London just run through 3 members. Lulus is still alive, but no flash available. Jumping into that pit would be a death sentence.
Would indeed. I'm actually kind of surprised that we see London go back to the Baron here. All 5 members up, Akkas a teleport. I think they could have ended, to be quite honest with you, with the super wave. But Baron definitely the safer call.
I think
when everything's on the line.
Yeah, when players are on the line, worth it.
Do the safer call. Do the safer call. Totally agree. This was earlier on in the regular split. Would have been in the game end, I imagine. But depth charge into the needlework, into all of the front to back here. Look at it. The Gwen damage is absolutely absurd. Akkas the entire time. If he had flash, honestly, this is game over for Bulldog. Only manages to find all the scout, but that's all they need to secure the Baron. I am advantage definitely looking towards London now with 5,000 gold lead. Bulldog, they're not out of it just yet. Well, they haven't looked competitive in a skirmish for a very, very long time. And things only will get kind of worse when you think about it. The Valley of Varus, Lucian versus Tristana, the scaling utility of the mage from the bot lane, and the lack of engage on Bulldog's end. It's going to continue to hurt them because London will continue to have far more agency than Bulldog can ever have in this game.
Well, Dragon spawning up in 1 minute's time. Bulldog want to be first on the punch in the area.
They have to be, because this is Soul Point. If you give over Ocean Soul in this position, it's probably gonna mean game end.
Yeah, Ocean Soul is going to be really rough to go into. They do have healing reduction, but even so, this makes their life even harder. As Jeppe gets sped up, he's looking for the hook, and it might just be Lulis they're turning it around onto. Lulis has to eep, watch out. London are hunting you down, and Coach once again will be the victim of the damage. He finds the chains, he finds the knock up onto Beely, but Beely going to be able to survive that one as a lot of damage lands in, and Coates is going to go down. Beely pretty chunked, but the Ocean Soul will be available to them any moment now, and he'll be able to sustain himself back up. Got the Baron Recall to get back on the map. He's got to teleport as well. So he'll be coming in, and this is the hook from Jeppe. That is going to be the end of Will the Scout, and Akers slides in, gets himself a wallop off, and a jump in forward. Lulis is going low. Lulis is going down as Beely able to secure himself the kill. And Thomas, this time, the culling's not going to be enough to kill Akers.
Yeah, and with that, honestly, London, they can look to end. I don't think Bulldog have enough left in the tank. All came down to the final game of the split for them. And I think this is probably going to be it. Final nail in the coffin.
Thomas, one last kill to pad the stats as the Nexus goes down. And London are the 4th and final team to qualify for the UKLC playoffs.
And celebrations for London, definitely the expected outcome, I feel, from expectations pre-split. But I do want to quickly highlight, we've got to feel a little bit bad for Bulldog here. It is generally a very sad story. A roster, I think, on paper from the get-go, and I said it all the way back in week 1, should be a playoff team, in theory, but quite frankly, didn't deliver on expectations of the roster, at least to me. And they were still so close, but it all came